Every transformation begins in the unseen. Long before your dream life becomes visible to the world, it must first become real to you. You are not waiting for success to find you. You are remembering that it already belongs to you. The greatest secret of conscious creation is not striving toward your goals, but inhabiting them mentally, emotionally, and spiritually before they physically appear. The truth is this: life mirrors your inner state. Your reality is a reflection, not a dictator, and that reflection shifts the moment you do. The invitation today is simple yet profound. Act as if you are already living your dream life, not as fantasy, not as pretense, but as a conscious, deliberate assumption of identity. This is not performance. This is not deception. This is alignment. You are not pretending to be someone you're not. You are waking up to who you've always been beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and external conditioning. The dream you seek is not distant. It's dormant, and your assumption is the signal that awakens it. Imagination is not a passive tool reserved for artists, dreamers, or children. It is the creative engine of reality itself. Everything you see, experience, and interact with in the physical world was once a seed planted in the soil of imagination. Before a house is built, it exists in the architect's mind. Before a novel is written, it lives in the writer's vision. Before your dream life can unfold in the material world, it must take shape within your inner world. This is not poetic theory. It is the operating principle of consciousness. When you consistently imagine yourself in circumstances that reflect your desires, you are shaping the blueprint from which your life will be constructed. The images, emotions, and assumptions you hold in your mind form an energetic pattern that your external world must eventually reflect. What you believe and vividly imagine over and over with feeling plants itself deeply into your subconscious mind, and the subconscious does not question or analyze. It simply accepts what you impress upon it as fact, and it then orchestrates conditions, behaviors, and opportunities to align with that inner truth. To truly live as though your dream life is already here, you must treat your imagination as sacred. Do not let it drift aimlessly. Do not misuse it by reinforcing the very circumstances you wish to change. When you focus your inner vision on lack, failure, or fear, you are rehearsing realities you do not want to live. And yet, many do this unconsciously, imagining worst-case scenarios or reliving past disappointments, only to find those same experiences repeating in their external lives. Imagination precedes reality. This means you must become more loyal to your vision than your visible circumstances. If your dream is to live in abundance, then your inner dialogues, your visualizations, and your emotional tone must reflect that abundance, regardless of what your bank account or surroundings currently show. You must imagine as if it were already done, not to escape reality, but to recreate it. When the mind accepts a new image as true, the body follows, and the world rearranges itself to match the new mental environment. This is not about fantasy or denial. It is about using the most powerful faculty you possess to architect your life with intention. Every day you are imagining something. The question is, are you imagining consciously or by default? Are you projecting your desired life, or are you simply recycling your current one? To live your dream, you must first imagine it in vivid detail, see it, hear it, feel it, return to it again and again until it feels natural to you. This repetition carves new grooves into the subconscious, reshaping your identity from the inside out. And once you fully inhabit that new state within, the world must conform to the image you consistently hold. Imagination is not a step in the journey. It is the beginning of reality itself. Assumption is not wishful thinking. It is a conscious decision to adopt a new state of being independent of your current conditions. When you assume that your dream life is already yours, you are not lying to yourself. You are laying the foundation for its arrival. Everything you call real today began with someone assuming it could be. The bridge between where you are and where you desire to be is not built with action alone. It is built with belief. Assumption is the blueprint. To assume the state of your desired reality means to mentally and emotionally occupy that version of yourself who already has it. This is not about waiting for external validation. It is about stepping into the feeling, the posture, and the perspective of your fulfilled self, here and now. When you do this genuinely and persistently, your external world begins to reflect your internal shift. It must, because life responds to the state you embody, not just the words you speak. Your assumptions determine your experiences. If you assume that money is scarce, love is elusive, or success is reserved for others, life will mirror those convictions back to you with striking precision. Conversely, if you assume you are already the person who thrives, who is loved, fulfilled, successful, then your actions, choices, and perceptions align with that belief. You start to notice opportunities you once overlooked. You begin to attract people and situations that resonate with your new state. Assumption is not passive. It is not something you try once and then abandon. It requires deliberate attention and emotional investment. The key is to assume not only with your mind, but with your entire being. Think as that version of yourself. Feel as that version of yourself. Move through your day as though the shift has already occurred. You are not faking it. You are faithfully embodying it. This inner work is subtle but transformative. Most people allow their assumptions to be shaped by evidence, but the deeper truth is that evidence follows assumption. This means you do not wait for proof to believe. You believe, and then the proof shows up. Your inner acceptance is the seed. Reality is the harvest. It is important to understand that assumptions do not create instant results simply because they are stated. They must be believed. They must feel natural. At first, this may feel like stretching into unfamiliar territory. But with repetition and emotional alignment, the new assumption becomes familiar, and once it feels natural, it begins to manifest. You do not need to know how your dream will unfold. That is not your responsibility. Your task is to assume the identity that corresponds to your desire. Let your internal conviction be stronger than any doubt, any delay, or any external condition. The assumption of the wish fulfilled is the mental cause behind every visible effect. It is the silent force that calls your future into the present. The power to create your dream life does not lie in words alone. It lies in feeling. Feeling is the bridge between imagination and reality. While the mind may construct images and ideas, it is the emotional charge behind those ideas that imprints them onto the subconscious mind. And the subconscious is the builder of your world. It does not respond to what you say logically. It responds to what you feel deeply and repeatedly. Many people visualize their goals with clarity, even consistency, yet see little change. This is often because they are mentally engaged but emotionally disconnected. They imagine success while feeling doubt. They visualize wealth while feeling unworthy. And so, the emotional reality they hold wins. It is your dominant feeling state that becomes the magnetic force shaping your external experience. To feel your dream life as though it is already yours is to set into motion a powerful chain of events. When you feel it real, your body, your behavior, your energy begin to align with that reality. You are no longer merely hoping for a change, you are embodying it. The body doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined state and a real one. This is why an emotionally charged assumption imprints more powerfully than 1,000 mechanical affirmations. So ask yourself, not just what do you want, but how would you feel if it were already true? Would you feel relief, joy, confidence, gratitude? Then call up that emotion now. Let it flood your being. Anchor your desire not in longing, but in the felt experience of its fulfillment. You are not begging the universe. You are aligning with it. This feeling must become your dwelling place, not a passing mood, but a sustained inner climate. Even in moments of doubt or difficulty, return to the feeling. Train your nervous system to become familiar with success, peace, abundance, whatever your dream contains. The more natural it feels to you, the more inevitable it becomes in the world around you. Understand this. Feeling is not a bonus. It is the substance of manifestation. Words without emotion are like seeds without soil. They carry potential, but they do not grow. When you emotionally live in the result you desire, you activate a resonance that draws all necessary components toward you: people, ideas, resources, and opportunities. Do not wait for something outside of you to justify the feeling. Reverse the order. First feel the change within. Then watch as reality follows. This is the sacred formula. What you feel as true becomes your truth. The emotional atmosphere you live in today is the life you will live tomorrow. When you feel as if your dream life is already here, you collapse time and bring that future into your present. You are not reaching for your dream. You are remembering it and emotionally claiming it as yours now. To live from the end means to mentally and emotionally reside in the state of your fulfilled desire, not to anticipate it, not to chase it, but to be it. This principle shifts your entire relationship with reality. Instead of reacting to your circumstances, you originate from a place beyond them. You stop living by appearances and start living by conviction. You stop asking, when will it happen, and begin declaring, it has already happened within me. This is a profound psychological shift. It requires you to release the habit of identifying with the version of yourself that is still seeking, still striving, still doubting. You must embody the version of you who has already received, already become, already arrived. You do not simply dream of the goal. You assume the posture of the person who already lives it. That shift in identity begins to call forth the exact people, conditions, and experiences that match the new state. Living from the end is not fantasy or denial of current facts. It is a creative act of faith. You are not ignoring reality. You are choosing to anchor yourself in a deeper truth, that consciousness precedes form. Your circumstances do not define who you are. Your inner conviction does. When you walk through your day feeling, thinking, and acting as if your desire is already fulfilled, you send a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. This is where many falter. They wait for results before they feel successful. They wait for love before they feel worthy. But waiting is a posture of lack. The energy of I don't have it yet only reinforces its absence. Living from the end dissolves that waiting game. It says, I no longer wish, I know, I no longer hope, I am. This inner knowing creates harmony between yourself, image, and your outer life. You must rehearse the feeling of fulfillment until it becomes your natural emotional home. Imagine conversations you would have if your desire were already manifested. Walk and speak with the confidence of someone who knows everything is unfolding perfectly. Let the tone of your life match the tone of your dream. Over time, this internal alignment becomes so strong that it overrides the temporary evidence of your current circumstances. It is important to understand that the outer world is a mirror, not a master. It reflects what you embody. So if you live from the state of already being abundant, already being loved, already being fulfilled, Your world has no choice but to mirror those assumptions back to you. Reality bends to the clarity of identity. This is not arrogance or delusion. It is creative alignment. You are not forcing anything into existence. You are magnetizing it by living from the place where it already exists. Time collapses when your inner world and outer world begin to match. That is the true secret of living from the end. You stop chasing the dream because you realize you are already it. Persistence is the silent power that transforms imagination into reality. It is not enough to assume your dream life once and expect everything to shift overnight. Lasting change comes from repetition, mental, emotional, and spiritual. The truth is, your current reality is the result of persistent thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you've held up until now. To create a new life, you must persist in the new state of being, regardless of what the outside world appears to show. When you first begin to assume a new identity, the one that aligns with your dream life, it may feel unnatural or even false. That's because your subconscious mind has been programmed by your past experiences and conditioning. But the subconscious doesn't resist repetition, it yields to it. The more you persist in assuming your desired state, the more natural it becomes, and eventually it takes root as your new default identity. Persistence is not about forcing anything. It is not a physical struggle, but a discipline of consciousness. It means returning, again and again, to the feeling and belief that what you desire is already yours, even when outer evidence suggests otherwise, even when circumstances contradict your assumption, you persist. Not blindly, but with inner conviction. You understand that outer appearances are only temporary shadows of past states. They do not define your future unless you allow them to. This is where many give up. They assume the new state for a few days, then look for signs. When the signs don't come fast enough, they fall back into old thinking. But true manifestation requires that you hold your inner position long enough for the outer world to catch up. Persistence keeps you anchored in your vision, no matter how slow or silent the process seems. Think of it like planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, protect it, and trust the process. In the same way, when you persist in imagining and feeling your dream as real, you are nurturing the seed of your future reality. Even if nothing appears to change on the surface, changes are happening beneath. Subtle shifts in perception, energy, and alignment that will soon break through. Your job is not to manipulate the outcome, but to remain faithful to the assumption. Each moment you return to that state, mentally, emotionally, energetically, you reinforce the new pattern, and eventually it overrides the old one. This is the power of persistence. It reprograms your identity and magnetizes new experiences to match it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. When doubt arises, return to the end. When fear speaks, reaffirm your new truth. When circumstances tempt you to react, respond from the version of you that already has what you desire. This quiet discipline is the engine of transformation. In the unseen realm of consciousness, persistence is progress, and soon enough, what you once imagined will be what you now live. Your state of being is the origin of all that unfolds in your life. You are not shaped by random circumstances or external forces. You are shaped by the inner condition you consistently occupy. Every emotion, every thought, every belief is part of the state you are embodying, and that state becomes the foundation upon which your external reality is built. Nothing happens to you without first moving through you. Most people believe they must fix the outer world to feel better inside. They think if they can just get the money, the love, the success, then they will feel worthy, peaceful, and fulfilled. But this is a misunderstanding of how creation works. The truth is the opposite. Once you become the version of yourself who feels worthy, peaceful, and fulfilled, the external world begins to reflect that state back to you in tangible ways. Cause is always internal. Effect is always external. Everything in your life right now, every relationship, every result, every pattern, is a mirror of your dominant inner state. If your reality is not what you desire, the solution is not to struggle against it, but to shift the state that is generating it, and that begins with awareness. You must become conscious of the state you are most often living from. Is it a state of lack, fear, or waiting? Or is it a state of certainty, joy, and already having? When you deliberately choose a new state, one that matches your dream life, you initiate a change at the root level. You are not trying to fix symptoms, you are addressing the source. And the most effective way to enter a new state is through feeling. How would you feel if your dream life were your current reality? Let that feeling take over. Let it be your emotional baseline, your internal climate. Not just occasionally, but consistently. As you sustain this inner atmosphere, your external world reorganizes. People begin to respond to you differently. Circumstances start to align. Opportunities appear that were previously invisible. This is not luck or coincidence. It is law. The world conforms to your consciousness. The vibration you live in becomes the structure of your life. This is why changing your state is not a one-time act. It is a lifestyle. You must return to it again and again until it becomes familiar, automatic, effortless. When your chosen state becomes natural to you, reality will flow from it without resistance. You will no longer be waiting for your dream. You will be expressing it. You are not a passive receiver in life. You are the projector, and the film being projected is your internal state. Change the film, and the screen changes. Your dream life does not come from outside of you. It emerges from within you the moment you embody the version of yourself who already lives it. Your dream life is not something you chase. It is something you accept. It does not lie in the future, waiting to be discovered. It exists now, waiting to be assumed. The path to it is not paved with endless striving or struggle, but with conscious awareness, deliberate imagination, and unwavering faith in your inner power. You are not a bystander in your own story. You are the author, the director, and the main character. Every moment you spend living from your desired state, feeling it real, and persisting in that identity, you are reshaping your destiny from the inside out. You have learned that imagination precedes reality. That assumption is the creative bridge between thought and form. That feeling is the emotional signature of your future, calling it into the now. That to live from the end is to anchor your identity in your desired outcome rather than your current condition. That persistence reprograms your subconscious, slowly and steadily rewriting your reality. And above all, that your inner state is the origin of all that you experience. It is not reaction, but creation. This is not philosophy, it is practice. Begin to move, speak, think, and feel as the person who already lives the life you desire. Let go of the need for evidence and become loyal to the truth you hold within. Every time you do, you step more fully into alignment with your highest reality. And in that alignment, life bends, opportunities appear, circumstances shift, and what once felt far away becomes the world you wake up to. You are not becoming your dream life, you are remembering it, and by acting as if it is already yours, you bring it into being, not one day, now.